Hi, this is Unapologetic Brain Injury, and this is Jerome Williams. We're going to talk about motivation. So, motivation is a very interesting conversation after you had a brain injury. There is a lot of stuff that you can search on the internet. There's stuff that you're going to hear from your doctors. There's stuff that you are going to want internally to be who you used to be when it comes to motivation. Motivation is it's one of those things that is a fine line. So first of all, they say motivation comes from your frontal lobe. That's the part of the brain that is, if it's affected, and you think about almost any accident or TBI, anything, like, it's usually hitting that frontal lobe. They call that adenamia or something similar to that. Again, not here to really pronunciate all that stuff because I'm not that great with it. But either way, I did some research just to say, hey, Google what is motivation and brain injuries. What are some of the things that that may come up? And a trusty notepad. It talks about the first thing that came up was talking about, like, if you have motivation issues, you'll have low activity, sleeping in late, loss of interest, social isolation, and watching television for hours. Super interesting in my case, because I've had an ABI, and some of those things match. I think that what they're finding out when they talk about depression now, in some of the academic articles that are coming out, like, they're looking at depression being different for brain injuries as they are for, like, regular depression. And I think once they start actually looking into some of this is really interesting and probably wrong. Low activity, I mean, as an ABI, like, sometimes you just can't do things like you used to, so you're just not as active. I have now narcolepsy, which I didn't have before my brain injury. Doesn't mean that I'm not active. I am not as active as I was before, but I still get a lot of stuff done. One thing that is different than with my brain injury, which I'm sure other people, or maybe you've thought about it and I haven't. If you think about time, I don't see time the same way, or hear time, or realize time the same way. And I say it that way is because I can sit, and whether it's 1 minute or 3 hours, I don't know the difference. I have to actually set alarms on my phone or notifications to actually realize time now. Some people can say, hey, like, if you ate, right? I could have ate 15 minutes ago, or I can eat 5 minutes ago. Like, I wouldn't know the difference. I think that people with brain injuries probably don't necessarily realize that they can sit and not have motion because they're not clicking with time. Time is not relevant to them. And if you're a person that maybe is like, oh, I don't know if that's true, that sounds like some BS, think about it. Like, set a 15-minute clock, or start journaling when you are doing things. And if things are happening moving forward, or if you're just sitting and you're not thinking about things, because that happens to me all the time. It's not like a thing where I don't want to get something done. I have not once thought about getting the thing done, or that task done. So therefore I just sat still. So just look into it. Like, just think, is that something that's happening to you? One of the things that comes up on Google, and I laugh because I just think it's super really ridiculous, but it says to get motivated, right? It says exercise, which is fine. If you have a brain injury and you can exercise, do it. Like, that's true. exercising can definitely help. I like to try to hit my 10,000 steps a day, to keep active, because I notice an actual positive with my blood pressure. Um, do I feel like that motivates me? I can't say that motivates me, but whatever. I'm sure whoever put this stuff together on the search they're very knowledgeable. But it also talks like have a routine, create choices, set goals, have fun, cognitive rehab. The only one I agree with is routine. If I do find if you do have a routine is very helpful, because not because it like does any motivating, but it allows you to know if you're not doing something. So when I wake up, I like my day is pretty set, same routine on purpose. So if something's off, I know, oh, I missed that, so I can go back. Now I'm extremely OCD now, which I wasn't before my brain injury, and with that, like I can get stuck cleaning, or I get stuck like focused on something to the point where I can't go further with like my day. A routine does help to be like, yo, no, stop. You've got to finish whatever that is. It's fine, and move on to the next thing. Some things, like some people say, hey, that may be ADHD, which I hadn't had before. I do now that I have my brain injury. But it's, those things, with a routine can kind of move forward. I'm 3 years into this stuff, so there's people that have probably had OCD and ADHD for much longer than me that could be like, no, that doesn't work. For me, it has worked that way. Create like choices like that makes no sense. Set goals, you can, but like if you're not motivated, I don't get how you get those. Have fun. They've obviously not had a brain injury, because that just sounds absolutely ridiculous. And cognitive rehab, duh, we kind of do that anyways, because you have to, I don't know. Either way, I'm sorry if you're looking and relying on the internet and on some of this stuff, like don't. Take the time to journal, to set routines, to do the things that will help you be successful. Those suggestions are horrible, but there is a way to be successful in motivating yourself. Like, I don't know all the right or wrong. I can tell you some of those are just dumb. Being a person that has had a brain injury, but the fact is, like, motivation, it's going to be day to day. It really is going to be day to day, and staying intentional and working towards working towards a positive journey is probably the best thing that I've come across. Some of the things that I would say that I used to focus on, like meditation and different things like that, because I like to follow kind of like the motto of like Buddhism, when it's like just be a good person. Like, you read the books, like they follow being nice to people, and just trying to be the best person that you can be internally. That's kind of a focus of mine. It hasn't worked as well as it did before my brain injury, just based on the fact that, like, I don't process the same way, like, but it has helped me to still try to set my mind and be motivated to be like, hey, Jerome, you've got to wake up, you've got to try to get a job, you've got to try to make money, you've tried, like, it has helped in that way, just to stay focused. But I'd love to hear what other people are trying to do. If you think those ideas work, have fun. I can't even tell you the last time I had fun. I don't think I've had fun since I had my brain injury, but maybe like but like I like to hear what other people are doing to stay motivated.